Welcome back to my channel, you guys. It's your girl Raja, and I'm back with another video. And in today's video, we'll be doing a bang on my sister. And it's the foundation that I normally like to use when doing styles like this. And we'll be using this $26.99 hair by Gardenia Model. And it goes from 24, 26 to 28 inches. So I'm basically showing you guys how I normally stick my needle through the weft without pulling any hair. So I basically hold the hair and let the needle glide along with the thread. So none of the hair is being pulled along with my thread. So basically I don't have to worry about any hair being clogged until my first track basically. So when I sew underneath the braid. It's just easier for me, especially with synthetic type hair. So, and it helps with fullness as well. So I basically will begin with sewing underneath mostly the whole entire time. And I make sure when I do so that I am sewing enough to where I can go underneath the next braid. So as you can see, you will see me sewing all the way across, and I will be flipping it over with the use of my eyesight, how I point everything out, how I measure it, and I will flip it back, and I will continue to sew underneath only up until I get where I know that the bang and everything will be showing. So I start to sew on top of the braid. So you guys continue watching that, and I will come back soon. So at this point, as I'm sewing, I'm beginning to sew on top of the braid, going all the way around, and I will continue to do so throughout the whole entire process. I mentioned before that I under sew most of the time, but I actually over sewed onto the braid most of the time. And one thing I will be telling you guys that you must always do is, if you're not going to constantly take the needle through the weft and you're going to continue to do what I'm doing, just at least make sure that you take the needle through the weft when you're crossing over the braids. Like, as I'm still on one line of braids, when it comes time for me to cross over to the next braid, which will be shown pretty soon, you will need to go through the weft and the braid at the same time to keep it from moving any which way that it wants to. Like, it will secure the spot of the weft and you won't have any problems. Like, I've always had problems with that when I first started doing hair. So as you can see right here, I'm going through the weft before I go to the next one. You keep constantly going through the weft only until you can get on one line of braids. See, I'm just crossing over the cornrows, and then I will continue to do my normal without going through the weft, basically. I'm pretty sure you guys understand what I'm saying, but that's what I do throughout the whole entire process. As long as I'm going along a strip of braids, I don't have to go through the weft. But when I'm crossing over to different braids. Like, okay, you guys get it. I'm gonna leave it at that. So at this point, when I am doing my going to another track, I actually come through from the back side and push it right back through as a double stitch to make sure it doesn't move. As you see, when I was tugging on it, it wasn't going anywhere. And then I continue to sew like so. The way I chose to sew the braids over helps me with continuing the foundation of going around in a circle. So as you're constantly going around in a circle with the weft, just keep going and keep going until you can. I know there's other methods that people use. Some even home make their closures and whatnot with the weave that they already have that they're using. But I just continue to go and go and go until I really can't go anymore. And when I do close it off, I close it off with taking a needle and sticking it through and pulling it out from underneath another track. And that's the best way to keep the thread from showing the top of the head. Normally, if someone was to keep going and try to cut it off there, as you can see right here, if you can really see the needle, and it's really hard for me to pull it through because I'm going through so many wefts at one time, but I eventually get it and I lock it like that, and that's the end of that. I'm not really going to show you guys of me cutting it because I'm not a professional or whatnot, and I've really never really been good with cutting bangs. But with this synthetic hair, we really had problems. I literally had to, we had a good idea of what we wanted, but I had, as you can see, this little clip here, I totally messed up the whole entire process. So with the hair we had left over, I literally took every piece of where I cut for the bang and redid it. And that's how we got to where we got now. And she wanted it to be kind of messy and like just scraggly. But the only problem that I had with it was it went completely well. It was just for the simple fact that when it went for us to flat iron it, it literally went bone straight, like bone straight. There was no possible way that I could put any type of bump in her bang, like not even a slight bump. Every time I tried to bump it, and like I would literally hold it for like a second or two because with synthetic hair and hot irons, they do not mix. You eventually end up burning the hair off. And when I did that, tried to bump it, it went completely back straight as soon as I combed it with the comb. So I was like, you know what, I give up. So here I am. We end up choosing to do a different style with just the regular bang because at first she just wanted the bang with the hair down, but we end up, I'm showing you ways of how she could have rocked it and whatnot. But it really wasn't meant to be put into a ponytail, but I'm kind of glad that we did. It looks way better to me. and I will be practicing more with this style when it comes to the weave. Of course, they have the up down, but being able to have a versatility type style where you can just take the little ponytail out and just wear it as a regular bang style is very unique. So that's how we end up with this style, and she was very satisfied, happy with it, all in my mirror and everything. Like, it was just very exciting. So this is the look, you guys. Thank you for watching my video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I will be coming back to you guys with more videos soon. Enjoy.